to another edition of Talking Parish League. I'm your host, Leroy John Baptist, along with Mark Charles, our executive producer, assisted by Auden. And we have, as usual, Taddy Arundel, our co-host. And today we have a very special young guest from the southern part of the island. And I'm looking forward to this conversation because I never heard this gentleman name on a cricket field. And so I'm really looking forward to hear of his powers and accomplishment on the field. And also, he's one of Antigua's renowned goalkeepers, if there's such a description. And we will be joined lately by one of his coaches in his early days. And so it promises to be a very enlightening and interesting program today as we talk with this young gentleman about his accomplishment, achievement on the cricket field, and most certainly we'll be divesting quite a bit into his football career, which most of us would know about him. But before we go any further, let us do our normal in-house duties and recognize our contributors to this program. Our platinum sponsor, ACB Caribbean, Simple Smarter Banking. And they have been with the Parish League circuit for well over 43 years. And so we just want to once again show our appreciation, our gratitude for their continued and long-serving tie with the Parish League circuit. And so we again just want to implore you, recommend to you, as I think my co-host had said a couple of weeks back, you don't really have a choice. It's the only bank there for you. It's ACB Caribbean, so be sure to check them out there throughout the length and breadth of Antigua. Also, we want to recognize Brands for Less. Carol and her team right there on High Street, just opposite the Old Deluxe Cinema, next to Zachariah building there. You could get a wide assortment of household items, clothing, whether for male, female, children, footwear, you name it. You're looking at a little gift for a wedding anniversary, a birthday, whatever it is. Be sure to check Carol and her team out there, right there at Brands for Less, and just let her know that you heard this on Talking Parish League. Let me also take the opportunity to say thank you to Carol. She made a small little donation to us last week, some little presents here, and so we just want to say thank you to Carol for continued support of the Parish League, Talking Parish League program. Cool and Smooth, your number one sport and appliance store right there in the market area. You go down there, you can get all your uniforms. Yes, there might be more sport playing, but now you're getting into the planning state, getting yourself prepared for when the season kicks off. And it's a good time now to go into Cool and Smooth and let them know, hey, we'll be looking 24 sets of uniform, 36, whatever it is, and start to put your plans in place. And I'm sure Amir and his team will take excellent care of you there. All right, so that just about conclude for first quarter of our appreciation moment there. Taddy, just before I bring you in there, let us also extend happy birthday greetings to Sylvester Bouncing Joseph. I understand today is his birthday, and so on behalf of the Parish League circuit, we want to extend birthday greetings to him. And we also want to remember Crazy Rose, Charles Goodwin, anyone who is under the weather a bit, that the Lord will continue to put his healing and caring hands on them and lighten their days ahead. Taddy, West Indies got the rain. You might say the rain helped us a bit. Rain washed out, I think, the last three one T20 game there, but Australia won the series 1-0. So I don't know where we're going to go from that. How was your weekend, Taddy? You still out Jolly Harbour, or you were out for Carnival?
Jolly Harbour was wildest road now, and to Bath Lodge, trying to take care of some things for my friends, Mm-hmm. And like you see, my great friend came in this afternoon, Camacho. And next week is his funeral.
That's Michael Camacho?
Yeah.
Okay.
Say good afternoon to the funeral in the audience, John, like take me off and crease of this nonsense cricket. I think the person who benefited most from the rain was Chris Gale. Yeah, he failed so much. He just said, "Boy, I want to fail one more time." So he doesn't waste the time now. So, and I guess I was reading something there, John, about this Russell Westbrook going to Los Angeles.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, and one day superstar basketball saying, well, the farming senior citizens team now here. So it might be the Masters team Westbrook put it together, them old guys. You know what I mean? So I tell you, on the side, I said, what if John started the article? Because I've been telling you, John, for the last few weeks, Western put in something like a Masters team with all old stagers. So maybe that's what Lakers in them.
Los Angeles Lakers,
yeah. You know, we must see the strategy. But John, you know, I mean, seriousness, John. You know, this cricket thing in West Indies, man. Like, somebody was there last night, yesterday, and somebody said, Bangladesh improving now. See, they beat Australia. And that's what I said to myself, John. If Australia played them 200 test matches, they make Australia go back Bangladesh 210 to nothing. But they don't have a chance against Australia in test match. That's like the sweetest spin bowlers. And they real good cricket pitch. So when they play 20 overs and 15 overs, whatever overs they play, John, I have all the team to win. It's a different kettle of fish when they bowl the team out.
Right.
I keep telling you, John, when the people talk about improving against stupidness, so John just dismiss it. He just wasteful thinking. It doesn't make no sense. But like I said to you again, John, when West Indies win, I'm happy now. When West Indies win, I'm happy. I don't back them, but I don't want them to lose. John, that's what it is, John. I don't back them, but I don't want them to lose. Be honest with you, John. But like I say again to John, my great friend came out, she came in the studio today. And I was telling her, John, because maybe they mentioned before, I might have when we started. Come on, show and look at the woman and myself were the guys who went to negotiate this Parish League, ACB alignment. So he's very much integral part of the settlement, even though he's been overseas over 30 something years.
I tell you, we should probably get him in for 15 minutes before he.
Well, I'm trying to get him in, but he's so. As a matter of fact, on this time today, say he's going to the same routine. The same team went to last week. They give him a go, no, we have to go back there today and go back again. Whole week again and done. So if he has to sign next week, come in next week, Thursday.
Okay.
If we don't get him next week, Thursday, we'll find a time to do something and we call him.
Right.
Something, you know, the guy. And one time, I think he was the man responsible for that with no one academy in factories, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the man that put me the task and that. Say, have to do that. That thing living in the you know. Hey, that's what I'm saying to you, John. So I'm saying this man, hey, like I say, Mark Big Man. My great body. You know what I mean? So,
yes.
like I said, next week we're going to carry the funeral live from the Methodist Church.
Okay.
2 o'clock in the afternoon. That will be the fourth one we take from that. First one, that was the big one with Mr. Brand.
Mr. Brand, yes.
Yes, the one with Jimmy, the great Jimmy Moore. You know Jimmy Moore, buddy, soundball guy.
Yes.
Then Earl Richard's mother, and then this one for the Methodist Church. You guys see, Parish League, like I said, John, Parish League is very much a community thing. A people's thing, you know what I mean? We're not like, what's it called, old days, a society thing. We're village people, community based. So when we see something community, we try to push it and get it over there, bring it to the fore. Right, John?
Most definitely.
We have my goodish friend, you know what I mean? Not so good friend in the studio today. This guy, I know him for quite a while now. John, I tell you, I never knew the man was some real cricketer, John. You know? And you're trying to convince me some years ago, he's a good cricketer, he's been a good batsman for Antigua under 19. I said, John, you just don't nonsense, but you can't goalkeep good. You know the song, John, you know what I mean? So then I get to hear the song really goes on. And they keep bugging me. I went to look for him a few weeks ago, wanted something done. I said, I want to come on the show. So they called me up there and I said, come on the show. And then I said, look, you have everybody who want of importance come on the show. Then he recommended his coach Nick. So I want to put coach Nick to task with something. Okay, you can't be coach, you can say anything good about him. The only thing good about him, John, football, is brother is famous. You can have the brother now, right? Peter Byers. He's famous for football. You know what he's
You're coming. Taddy banging too hard. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the studio for the first time in the Talking Parish League studio. Good afternoon, Jenny Simon. Welcome to Talking Parish League.
Good afternoon.
And you will explain that.
Good afternoon to you, everybody, the listening public. It's a pleasure to be here. My first time here, 10 hours, but he didn't realize that I'm a talented young man. So cricket was my first love. I definitely enjoy playing cricket. You have a little more talent in different field, football. I end up gravitating to football more than cricket.
No, we also have your one of your coaches on the line, but just before we bring him in, Good afternoon, Derek, Benta Darby. Yes, you're back with us. Good to have you. Bad news on studio. George Ferris is also in. Calvin White, good to have you. Okay, guys, good to have you locked in as usual. Jenny, you spoke about, well, I must be honest, I've heard your name before. All I've heard is football. So then somebody sent me this today's show. Cricket. Never heard Danny's name in cricket and circle. So just take us back a little bit, because how you got involved in cricket, and you said as far as I understand, you represented Antigua in the under-19. Just walk us through that little process there, so we can understand your time spent in cricket and circle.
Only bowling started bowling cricket, Tyrone Pacer, our head coach, and when it comes to cricket, Pacer was strict. You want to make sure we at the early age, I was goalkeeper football, so I utilized that opportunity to become a goalkeeper also. So I'm a reason for I wasn't able to pass so I called myself as a brave person. So I was home bat, then I passed my exam, go to junior secondary school, started to play a bit more, and I think it was on 15 team for Antigua. We went to Montserrat, and I think I played a few games. I can't remember.
Wait, before you say you go to Montserrat, you went on the boat?
I don't remember how we get in the boat.
No, I only had we had a few boat experiences of persons going out to Montserrat, so I wanted to know.
One person was Johnny. Was Mali on the tour too?
Mali was there. I think he was there also.
Boca Parish.
I remember that. I remember that's what I was in. Mali was on the trip in Tayo. Yeah.
So after that, football was the young 19. I didn't let the final team because I had to choose. So I a good spell at making the final team. But at that time, I think we planned to go off to a tournament and I have to choose football, unfortunately. But in bowling, cricket our first love. You can't play other sport to pace until you play football during the cricket season. So we spend a lot of time playing cricket, knowing the art of the game. We take it very much serious. But football. At the end of the day, we're in a football family. All of us are very good batsmen also. I have my brother Tyro.
No, we say Pete was a very good batsman.
Yeah, he left-handed.
Wow.
Wait, Pete was better than you, right?
Wait.
He doesn't better than you, man, Johnny.
I was a class above.
Class above.
You were class above them?
Yeah, I was class above them, especially when it comes to batting. I've been keeping about understand. Unless these guys keep about understand.
Wait, keep on for spin bowler.
Spin bowler fast.
One second there, Jenny. Guys, can you check getting a report that there's an echo in the transmission? Can we just check from our end to make sure that everything's okay? Yes,
and I have good long arms, so.
So you affected a lot of stomping?
A lot of stomping, and I don't think I need a first slip. I can get across there. So yeah,
Superman in the making, Taddy.
Yes. I think my only bad issue, I didn't have time to select my shot. So I was a more like T20 player.
Wait. You 320 220 time?
Exactly. So the first 6 over.
John, that's one of your kind of guys. You're John's favorite guy, man.
So you were dashing Chris Gale?
I think so. I think that
Wait, but left-handed?
No, right-handed.
So it could be Chris Gale. There'll be somebody else.
No, I said a dashing right-handed Chris Gale.
Yeah, I was. But one of my favorite players I would say Carl Hooper and Brian Lara.
Feeling Carl Hooper?
Carl Hooper, Brian Lara.
Man.
Well, let me just take you back a bit. Coach, we're coming to you. You're on the line. We're coming to you. Let's just go back a bit. Let's go through a little bit of what it was like working with Pacer Williams, the discipline, the whole system that he set in place, and how that would have ultimately impacted your development through life, whether it be football or just life in general.
Working with Pacer, that's a big impact on me personally. Football, cricket, and in life itself, because he was very disciplined, he was very organized, and the way how he coach, you definitely have to improve because he put measures that you can improve. Like I love to cross, and so sometimes in training, and I cross, and even though I hit the ball for six, he still say out because he didn't want to cross the line. He wanted to play forward. So, but he was very, very disciplined. If you don't come to practice, he will find your house and wake you up. Especially when you're a leader, because from early stage, I would be captain, so he wanted to lead from the front. So if I'm not there, he definitely going to come over by the house, wake you up, and get you on the training field. So that been an impact on all sport, because even when he's a coach of cricket and football.
Okay.
So if you don't play cricket, you can't play football.
So you still have to pass through the Pacer Academy.
Still have to pass through Pace Academy.
Strange enough, then, John, when Pacer was going down, so Pacer was a striker with, Pacer have it. Boss fella,
Yes.
Boy, he more courage, if only neck courage, you only hand, boy, flamboyant fella.
And that's the one thing he installed in us, you have to be confident, you have to show like people have to see that you believe in what you do.
Bring that swag out there.
Yeah, so when you walk out like, hey, you're the man.
I've arrived.
Yeah, yes. And so he get that instilling in me on an early age.
Okay, let's just talk a little bit about your brothers. Peter Byers, I didn't even know today. I'm learning Peter Byers is your brother. How was your family support there in that whole cricketing circle? Were you guys very competitive with each other, or it was one carrying one? How was that family setting in the whole sporting fraternity?
And because of age group and different position, we help more like a push each other. We're very together because we grew up sing mommy alone. So we go out there, we try our best to improve, be the best because we want our mother to feel proud. So most of the time we were more playing for our mother, playing for one another because we grew up as a single household. So we never really compete against each other, but we always be competitive because we want always. My mother always said, "Who scored the most goals and score the most runs get the big plate of food." So, we definitely have a go to
Okay, so you play for that big plate of food.
That was some kind of incentive, John. That was some kind of incentive.
Well, we had somebody here who spoke about the same. I think it was Tony White. Who spoke about the same kind of incentive that needs to go around. And David Janil spoke about his mom have that big plate of food waiting there. The community in the whole now in Bowlands is just a little bit out of the city. What was the community spirit like? How did that motivate you, or were you scared by the chit-chatter and the talk? We are spectators outside. We know the game better than even those who are playing it.
Scared, you definitely have to be scared in bowling because they critique every single thing. And now I'm old, I realize it only make it better because they all want to see the best in you. So I wouldn't say scared, but I always want to go out there and perform. If you prove yourself as a top player, they want to see the best in you. They was very supportive. Cricket, I think it was a big thing because we have some young players, but the different sports when it comes to football are always challenge us. I think that's the reason why we gravitate more to football than cricket because when we go with a poor neighborhood, we're not looking at go pro. We're not going to go pro football, we're not going to go pro cricket. What we can get, I think that the opportunity to go college. I think that's the reason why we gravitate more to cricket.
Okay.
So maybe if cricket would have maybe a scholarship set up like you're able to go to the US to get a scholarship in the US, I get a scholarship in England, or somewhere to play cricket. And maybe with a stick to cricket because cricket was our first love. Football will come and take over because the life opportunity that you have to offer.
And it's so interesting that you mentioned that because I was just reading a little bio on your coach, and we're going to speak a little bit about it when we bring him in. He seems to be very high on creating for persons to move on to different brands and stuff like that. Now, just in your community, who were some of your teammates? That you really should I say? You really okay. Let me rephrase that. Who were some of the players that you would have emulated as a younger boy growing up? Forget about the Carl Hoopers and just talking on the local scene in the Bowlands area. Who were some of the older guys that you would have looked up to and would have wanted to emulate as you started to play your game?
Definitely Pacer. Earl Waldron. He was a good batsman we see growing up. We have one guy we call Pusky. But these guys go out there and guys out put the best forward. I have a young guy named even Leon George, my same age group. He was, I think that if he continued his cricket career, he'd reach very far.
Who's that?
Again, Leon George. He didn't play much, but for the time I see him play, especially in village. Also, Lionel, a study guy. Lionel was a very good batsman. I think bowling itself did have a good amount of cricketers. I think that we just play for our community and that's about it.
But John, I must tell you, the bowlers, the most famous bowlers, football, cricketer, but Derek Pretty Boy Edwards.
Yes.
He was the one who knocked the first six in Stanford pool.
In the swimming pool, yes. So bowlers really have produced a lot of, if you want to say, ambidextrous or multi-sports personnel.
So Derek Pretty Boy was a bad fan big and all that too.
Yes.
Apart from being this great striker like Peter, he was a footballer, bad fan big. Not one, but your cricket, 2020 cricket.
Pretty Boy, don't worry, you'll get a chance to come and defend yourself.
Yes. Derek itself, trust me, he played a big impact also on my career football-wise, but he's a very good.
Guys, Calvin is also speaking about a constant feedback. I don't know if that's coming from our end. Can we check that out? Neil is saying bored. Well, guys, he didn't say it, but bored seems to be his pet name. Janil pet name.
His known name.
His known name. Okay. Board, remember your cause Dangoose, who played a great role in Boland's winning the Thursday League Championship.
Yes.
Who's Dangoose?
A so-called fast bowler.
Wait, John. You ever want to go and know the so-called
fast bowler.
The so-called goalkeeper.
The so-called batsman, so-called goalkeeper.
You know what we call man so-called. And Banus is said man win championship for bowler. You know what I mean, John? How disrespectful can bowl get?
You have one off and have consistent people that will win.
Okay. So you have the Michael Jordans and you have the those that maybe win it once or twice. You're just
twice, just once.
Well, Neil, he did remember Dangoose, but he said it was just a one-time wonder. So I don't know if it's like the Calypso King that wonder.
But he's my cousin, and we are family that bunch of young men that grew up in school.
But he said it was just a one-time wonder. So. All right, well, guys, you heard it. Daniel, anything else you want to just expound on a little bit about your cricket? Because we're going to bring in Coach shortly, and I know Coach will speak about the football aspect of your development. What about you played in any school? You played for Jennings?
Yeah, Jennings secondary. I played for Jennings secondary as home back wicketkeeper. I think that one of the issues in Antigua are keeping stats, because you don't want to talk and say you did this and do that, but I definitely never sure I get a few half centuries and 1 to 100.
2020 cricket?
Well,
half century, man. You mentioned half century.
No, but Charlie, what the man in that 2020 cricket he was playing.
That's what I say. You talk about 5 half century, 2020. When you played 2 of the matches, that was centuries, John, not 50s, John.
Jadil, what was, if you can recall, because I know it might be a while, what was some of you would identify some of your greater performances on the cricket field?
I remember we played a match in Boland's against Clay Hall. I think Terry Jeremy was the fast bowler. I think I made 60 in
Tell Taddy, now hear you.
We make 60?
Yeah.
2 of the match?
So one day is a 1 day match.
A 1 day match, okay, that's 1 and 2 of the match. Okay, you want to keep back half century, that's when it's check in.
It's a home bat, I have to make sure the shine come off the ball, so the other guys come in can
beat it. All right.
Hey, John.
The man sound like open bat, Taddy.
John, I want to say something about that, John. Make shine come out ball. There's a guy from Erling, Super Parish League for Erling, a guy Moscow. Big strong guy. You see 2 of the matches now. When they pick up the scorebook on Monday afternoon, Moscow get out for 105 and get out in the 15th over.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, John. He get out in the 15th over. Maybe bad news might remember him. But the guy in the early days of Parish League.
Okay.
In the 80s or so, a guy they called him Moscow, big, muscular looking guy. And when I pick up the scorebook, John see a century, he said, wait, the man out in the 15 or 16 over, John, you don't have 100.
So T20, he was definitely.
Boy, he played maybe 10 overs.
T10.
What my greatest moment, I would say, when we play against the English team in Boland, I think they come twice. I didn't make much runs the first game, but I did a few runs the second time.
Was a few ones? Was this a few ones? 15?
Like, about 15.
See me, John. 15. John.
Oh, you let Taddy suck you into that. Daniel, you let Taddy suck you into that. Just think I made a few runs.
John, they better take credit for 15 ones.
Okay, viewers, one second. Viewers, let us know if it's improved. Technicians tell me there it should be, so just give us a thumbs up if everything is good on your end in terms of the feedback.
Yeah, John, that's so like pour that bat in 3 overs, like 3 balls make 15 runs. That's happy 15 runs.
Happy 15.
Yeah, I mean that's no good.
I like to remember that you play against the big nation and so I was still happy.
You were still happy just to be on the field with them.
Yeah.
That was a limelight for you.
And my wicket keeping stood up well. A few catch, a few stump.
You did your first leg.
Yeah, in the first flip, on the second flip, right down third flip gully. And you don't need no what do you call the position behind? Because I don't give a bias.
You don't give a bias, so you don't need no long
I
stop.
don't need a long stop.
John, long stop old in cricket. We have long stop in cricket anymore.
Yeah, but that's the only thing people don't have to stop by.
Yeah, to stop
Long on and third man and have to stop by steady.
John, if you're a keeper, then you're long stop, you're not a keeper.
Well,
No, the ball is probably not keeping up. The ball, sometimes the balls are wide behind the back. So,
I mean, we don't know why they call them whites, we call them bites, we call them whites.
yeah.
I
That's the
didn't give a bias.
Neil,
Okay.
Taddy, bad news is saying that yes, you remember Moscow, and Moscow lives in New York now. All right, guys, we're going to take a short little break, and after the break, we're going to bring in Coach Nick, and he would have had quite a bit of experience working with Janil, and so we're going to bring him shortly, where the two of them will wrap a bit of their days, and Coach will also speak of his aspiration of entering into the local cricketing, the football circuit. Taddy, just before we go to that break, we should also congratulate the young pitman. I think it's Kelvin Pittman.
John, I'm so happy you got there, John. Yes, you must congratulate Pittman. That's my most disappointing thing in my life. And the one picking 56.
No, Taddy, you're missing the point. No.
The point is
That's another discussion. That's another
I'm
discussion.
happy for Pittman now.
Exactly. So let us congratulate
Can you
Mr.
imagine
Pittman
John.
for being selected
John.
into. I know I wanted to go to that, but because we had the coach on the line, that's why I didn't elaborate on this. Because I find it strange. I'm always hearing, oh, we play a lot of cricket in Antigua and they don't play no cricket in St. Kitts and Nevis. And I see all the people come to St. Kitts and Nevis, but I didn't want to cross up the discussion. That's why I didn't bring it.
Boy, John, I'm so happy. Well, maybe we should go to John.
Yeah, we'll bring it up another. We spoke about it another time. That's strange to me too. But we have to give the young man some props and hope that he.
When I was coach of the cricket scene now, you know, when I pick Leo Islands out in 19 team, so 8 man advantage in the team was on 8 and 9 and so on. So
Yes.
you're 1 man in 50 something from Antigua.
Yeah, that it's really strange. It really struck me.
That's a
but
crime, John.
It's a
I'm
crime.
not like John, I can't flip, but don't find out what's going on. Okay, when I said, I was shocked. I said, 1 from Antigua,
Yeah,
56.
It really hit me too. But at the end of the day, we got to still put our encouragement and support behind Mr. Pittman and hope that he
Yeah,
can,
but I'm happy for the guy. I don't even know him, John, but
he can
I'm
excel.
very happy for him.
Yeah.
But he says a lot about our development here.
Well, somebody has to give some answers. That's what I would say. Somebody would have to answer what could cause this. And also, you know, we don't really touch much about the Olympics, but you know, we have to congratulate the Jamaicans. They say they changed the air report from 767 to 123 now. So, you know, anyway.
I like that. Anyway, hey, look, see, you can't go to Pittman, and I can't get Ray Benjamin.
Ray Benjamin. Yes, I actually have it here. Ray Benjamin, also Winston Benjamin's son.
The Parish League connected guy, new field, you know the scenario. Okay, his mother is my very good friend, and you know, Winston.
Right.
So, hey, I'm happy for him too. And I tell you what, John, like what so Winston said to Winston, boy, the guy made me proud. You know why? He came second, but guess what? The second that he came, and the time that he did, end of the time, with the goal, you know.
Yeah, well,
he's time better than the guys who win goal now.
I think Winston said it the best, you know. Rai did his best there. He was just bettered.
Yeah,
That's somebody on that day.
Exactly.
But you could not ask more from Ride at that day.
He did better than he ever did before.
Exactly.
So he could have been better than that, John.
All right, so our platinum sponsor, ACB Caribbean, simple, smarter banking, 43 years with the Parish League circuit, and so for all your financial and banking needs, be sure to check them out there at the ACB Caribbean for all of your banking and financial needs. Seco Pharmacy, your #1 pharmacy on the island. There you could get all your pharmaceutical and medicinal supply, all your vitamins. Be sure to check them out. They're closed today, so don't go down today. They're having stock taking today, but they'll be open back tomorrow. Right, Mark? Yeah, they'll be open back up tomorrow from 8 o'clock in the morning until about 5, 6 in the evening. So be sure to check them out there at Seco Pharmacy right here on High Street. Digicel, the bigger, better network for all of your internet and connectivity needs. Be sure to check them out there at Digicel, the #1 internet provider on the island. Zen Body and Skincare, enhancing your natural beauty. Distributor of Black Girl Sunscreen, made by women of color for people of color. A sunscreen for everyday use. Zen Body and Skincare. They are located at Ways Estate, just east of Pickett, north of the Social Security Housing Project. For more information, call them at 779-4846. That's Zen Body and Skincare. And you know the place hot. The last couple of days we have been boiling, so don't forget to get your sunscreen from the Black Girl Sunscreen there at Zen Body and Skincare. And also, I'd forget to tell you, you could join us if you want to call in and air your views, ask Janil any question, board any question. You can join us at 1-268-776-2866.
WhatsApp and mobile.
WhatsApp and mobile. All right, so now...
John, there's one thing I want to intervene quickly. Sure. Mm-hmm. You notice anything? Today's stock taking Thursday. Mark wanted to make sure he's early today. Okay? You know, they can't tell it lateness. So you make sure it's stock taking, so you lock down, so you come early for the show.
You come early for the show.
So you can zoom in and get everybody and scream early.
All right.
So when I came to South and saw here, John, and they get heart attack, I said, pardon, John, really improving, boy. So I will give you credit to John. And that is great, John. Like John, you tell every day I go by him, something starts up.
And we want to recommend, also invite our viewers to remember to like and share our Facebook page. And I also understand we are coming through live now on CTV Channel 8. So be sure to share that around. We are live on CTV Channel 8. So we want to say welcome to the viewers on CTV Channel 8 to Talking Parish League. And today we're here with one of Antigua's shining star, Janil Simon, a.k.a. Board, as they say. And joining us on the Zoom platform, we're supposed to have Coach Nick Dimitrievski. Coach Nick, are you online? Good afternoon, hello. Coach Nick.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, we're doing wonderful. Good to have you. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. I'm doing great. It's so surreal to see Janil after like 20 years. It's unbelievable to see him. He looks great.
20 years. And he still look the same age, right?
We got eligibility. I want to get him for another year or two.
Janil, you can say good afternoon to your coach.
Good afternoon, Coach Nick, and how are you doing?
Janil, great, man. Good to see you.
Great seeing you.
Coach, maybe we'll start with you. Tell us how you got in contact with Janil, you know, how that relationship got started, and just tell us a little bit about that relationship working along with Janil.
Sure. I'm the athletic director, soccer coach here at Bryan College, and we started the program 24 years ago. And I believe I came across Janil through a fellow teammate, Kelly Fredericks, when I was on my recruiting trip. Kelly said that we're one of the top goalies in the world, but you might be interested. And so I immediately, contacted him, and we gave him a full scholarship to come here to go to school, and he did amazing. Initially when we first came on the scene, we were in the junior college, in our very first year. We finished 13th in the nation, then 3rd, national champion runners up, the national champions in 01. So we've been in the junior college for the first 17 years. We moved to the 4-year USCA League for the 2015, 16, 17, 18 national champion runners up, and we won the national championship again this past year. So, he comes from a really program. And I got to say, he's been one of the top, if not the top goalkeeper I've had in the past 24 years. So I'm so excited and proud of him, what he's achieved. And we've stayed in touch, and there's some aspirations about me being a national team coach there, and he's really helped guide and support that. So I'm hoping maybe one day we can work together on the coaching side.
Strange enough, the coach, guys, I happen to know Kelly Frederick very well too. He's from my neighborhood, Oval, his mother. So I know that guy and his brother. So as a matter of fact, I went on a mission today for his uncle. That would tell him about the house and all that, So I'm very familiar with Kelly. But tell me something, Nick, Coach Nick. I hope you don't say now it's good to against about Johnny because he's next to us and you say, talk the truth. He wasn't that good a goalkeeper, man. He was that good.
He was the best. He brought a different skill set to the goalkeeping position. And I knew he was good when he first came here, and he probably doesn't know this. I'm Googling around, and I come across this article that says players to watch, top players in the world to watch, and it had his name on there. And that just threw me back, because, we just came on the scene, and now I'm recruiting a top player in the world. So I was like, wow. And he was such a gentleman when he was here, such a leader, great human being. That, I got a 6-year-old son, and I would love him to aspire to be like that good of a guy that he is. So I'm so happy that life has turned out right for him and such.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, by the way, Kelly Fredericks gave me the best advice I've heard.
Can you give me that advice? Well, Coach, he's my good friend too, When he told me he was a goalkeeper, I was like, you're no good goalkeeper. You can't goalkeep anything. Then I got my friends tell me, yes, this board is very good. So I was taken aback. Because I don't want to give the guy any credit. If you know me, Coach, I don't give credit easily. So,
Kelly Fredericks, when I saw him years ago, I got a little 6-year-old, and he said, Coach Nick, I'm going to give you the best advice if you want your kid to grow up to be a soccer player. He said, my father put a soccer ball in my crib, and that's what I gravitated for. And that's what I did, and my little guy is an amazing soccer player, so I got to thank him for that.
And I tell you, Kelly's father was a national player too.
Okay.
Yeah. My mother was a good guy.
Call him Doc. People that I know in my neighborhood. Yeah.
Yeah, because me and Kelly are very good friends. And he told me that, you want to go to Brandon Stratton, and he told me he could talk to the coach and see what can happen. And in them time playing for Antigua, that's all what the guys talk about, who can get scholarship. So I told him yes. And when I went over to Syracuse, when I come off the plane, the place was so cold. I tell myself, how am I going to survive here? And that's
Still is.
That's during September, and it was so cold.
Close to Canada, man.
Yeah, but I think coach do a very good job welcoming me within the team. His coaching method, his coaching technique definitely helped me as a goalkeeper. The area was tough to deal with, but it mentally make you a strong person. Right from the get-go, I wasn't the first keep. So when I go in, I have to put my work in.
Work off somebody on the team.
You have to work off somebody on the team. I don't know if you remember that the first few games I was on the bench. You bring.
No, I don't remember that.
On the bench.
Then who was ahead of you then?
I don't remember. I think his name is Les. The first, I think the first 2 or 3 games I didn't play.
Huh. Okay. But you did a good job of making up for it.
But Coach, let's just go back a bit. I probably should have done a little background of you, but just tell us a little bit about the school, the Bryant Stratton College, for our listeners, so they get a little understanding of your background a little more.
Well, Bryant and Stratton College were located in Syracuse, New York, and like I mentioned, we've been in athletics for 24 years. We started in the junior college for the first 17. We've done a great job. We moved to the United States Collegiate Athletic Association because we've added a couple of bachelor programs, and from the 15 to the 18 national champion runners up and won the championship this past year. So it's kind of a win-win situation for our kids. We have 2 and 4 year programs, and it's really worked out great. You know, we can get top level people and players like Jamil, you know, to stick around all 4 years if they choose to.
All right.
So some of the famous players that also went through that school, myself, Kelly Frederick, Troy Bucket Simon.
Yes.
He also went there. We have a bunch of girls. My sister also went there. So coach have been a great job helping the young Antiguans to get opportunity to get a degree. I remember the first thing he told me.
We probably given in 24 years, I would say maybe 200 scholarships to kids from throughout the entire Caribbean, and probably 50 to 75 are from kids from Antigua. So we've done a really good job. I've had one of my most notable players is Shari Joseph. He was an 8-time MLS All-Star, captain of the New England Revolution, one of the highest paid players in Major League Soccer, former coach for the Grenada senior national team. You know, so we've really done a good job. It's a small school. These kids do great because everything is focused. You know, we got reporting mechanisms that monitor their grades, their attendance, and, you know, and I'm a disciplinarian as well, you know, so we got 24 guys on the team that one's better than the next, you know, and they know that they're going to come here. They're either going to move on after they get their associates to a big-time Division I program, or now stay and play for their 3rd and 4th year. So we've had a tremendous run, you know, and we have an incredible team coming back, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Coach.
And actually, Jamil was supposed to speak at our banquet national championship, but unfortunately due to COVID, that got canceled. I was really excited to have him be a part of that.
Coach, I can tell you what, he mentioned that to me a few months ago too. He's going to go make this big speech at the college. He told me about it. He did tell me about it, Coach. Now I'm reminded.
Now, Coach Nick, as a coach, the gentleman Taddy Arundel, he's also one of our great coaches on the island. How challenging it is, because you're recruiting some of the best talent around the Caribbean and maybe even far hemisphere. How challenging is it to manage these talent, the egos that may come with them? Because as Janil said, he went up there as a premier goalkeeper, and then eventually he had to sit on the bench. And sometimes some persons don't take too kindly to that. They think they're the best and they should. But how difficult is it to manage those egos and those expectations?
Phenomenal question. You know, I think the student athlete has changed a little bit. Kids nowadays are not complete players. And I think maybe the youth, the academy systems have really done them wrong. You know, when they come here, we literally strip them down and show them from A to Z how to play, you know. And this day and age, kids are not that. And back then, all you had, like when I grew up, all you had was sports, soccer. So you'll do everything possible to start to, you know, achieve your goals. Now it's a little bit different. There's so many options, you know, so you're dealing with a lot more different scenarios. So as a coach, I think you got to be really vast in, you know, motivation. And how are you going to motivate and get to and reach all these different individuals, you know, and it is very challenging, you know. As a young coach and now 24 years later, the number one thing that I really look at is good character now. You know, it's so important because you're doing this, you're going through the trenches, but you need somebody there that is going to follow your vision, your mission, you know. So to answer the question, it has become more difficult, but we as coaches got to continue to come up with and develop motivation techniques and find and reach that individual that wants to be successful.
Janil, for you now, you would have left Antigua. You spoke about the weather, but you're also going into a system where you're doing classwork, and you have to do your sporting discipline. how challenging was it to strike that balance to maintain your academics and still excel on the playing field?
One, I would say advice from my mom. She let me know early from get go. I'm still representing Antigua, so if something happened to me, the news would read Antigua first instead of my name. So I was a bit scared of school, so that was my front runner. I used school to excel because I can perform on the field. So I didn't really worry about the playing. I was more worried about the school, make sure I keep up with the grades. So I'm definitely spend majority of my free time in the books because football it comes natural. You enjoy doing it, but the schoolwork itself a lot more hard work, a lot more dedication. Plus, I was the first one to go to college, and mainly I just don't want to disappoint my family.
You were the trailblazer. So
yes, so I want to make sure when I leave from here, I definitely put my footprint in.
And Jamil did fantastic, guys. He was an academic All-American. So he nailed it on the books and on the field, and just a good guy. So, he really did a great job while he was here, and overcoming a lot of obstacles.
The coach, man, I must interrupt a little bit. When I was saying, it sounds like something that I've been through. Some guys make you feel proud. Some players make you feel so proud. Something you don't want to mention them because you feel like you get a little bias towards them, but it took John Hill, because John Hill came in your program when the program was very young, and he built that program for you, made a success of you as a coach too.
Yeah, absolutely, and I owe him a lot of gratitude, he did a fantastic job, he and Kelly, Troy, all these guys, and they're so disciplined to just listen, and I was a young coach. It was my first or second year of coaching, and it was just fantastic to go through that young coaching phase with those type of guys that were good and very helpful.
But it wasn't easy at all. You have to deal with the weather. You have to deal with the whole system in Syracuse. Catch the bus, learn the American system. So it wasn't easy, but definitely you have to dig deep. You have to set goals, have a set plan to overcome whatever challenge. But I have to say thanks to Coach Nick because he do open. So whenever you feel down, whenever you feel a bit, anyway, he tried his best to help and support you. So I have to say special thanks for that.
No, Coach. Sorry, go ahead. You want to say something, Coach?
No, I was just saying thank you so much. And if I go back to you guys asked me dealing with big time players, and a lot of those players are not complete players, so they'll come with their ideas of how to play, and then when they get here, we'll have a new system, so that becomes difficult, but these guys that came from there really followed suit, and they've done really fantastic.
Now, Coach, you spoke about over 200 athletes, students coming into your program. While they all didn't come at the same time, but the few that would have come now, they're coming from different backgrounds, different culture. How do you set that environment where they can feel comfortable and it's easy for them to adapt into that different cultural setting? As Janil would have said, you would have to learn that whole bus system, route system. In Antigua, we just go the road and you just jump on one bus, There you have to, where we started the metro, whatever it is, But as a coach, how difficult it is now for you to really put in the different cultures?
Sure.
Yeah,
no, great question. The answer is building a supportive environment. Players can see through you if you're fake or phony. Like, I was really am genuinely interested in their welfare, So I really just wrap my arms around and do everything I could possibly do to help them, And their success on and off the field is a replica of that. Soccer is a universal language, so we like I said, we get a lot of kids with different backgrounds, but we try to meet each one's needs and, help them grow as a human being, along the way. And that's the reason why we're so still, successful on the field and off the field. So we really just take that personal approach and really try to help people's needs.
Coach, there's something you mentioned earlier about the younger players when they come to your college now, seemingly the academy is failing them. And this is what they want to pick up on. You're talking about the technical skills that they bring to the college now, is not as good as it used to be?
Say the last part again?
That the technical skills that when they come to your college now, to your program, when they come they leave the academy in Antigua, wherever they're from, when they come to you, they're not basically as sound as they used to be, technically.
Right. I'll give you an example. Okay. I had recent years a kid that had 24 caps for Botswana. Came to us first couple of days in preseason. Now he's played against big teams, some big players that have played on the top leagues. And first couple of days of practice, he's getting destroyed, and we just gave a full scholarship to this kid, and I'm like, man, he's just so far behind. He just doesn't know the techniques, the concepts. And then I really see that in a lot of kids. They're just not taught correctly how to play the game, techniques, all that. Like you see, we do, engineer will probably laugh, we do this channeling drill to show people how to defend. I would say in 24 years, I can count on my fingers how many people really truly know how to defend. And that's frightening. So somewhere along the line, they're not being taught how to play correctly. They're being taught individualized. They're so individualized. They'll understand, for example, they're good at one aspect of it, but they're just so poor at different other aspects of it. And that's the biggest change that I've seen. Those very first years, boy, those kids were more complete players. They cared more about it, and they got, they cared more about it, and they were probably taught more. But this day and age, you see a huge gap, and you got to reteach them.
And put some pressure on you, coach. Put some added pressure on you to get them up to standard.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you a great discussion. I got my 6-year-old kid, and I had him play with some. He's probably one of the best 6-year-old kid around, and he's using his hands already. And I had some coaches that are just so prehistoric in their thinking that that's the problem. They're not really understanding how to teach these kids to really truly fend for themselves down the road. So I got a vast interest in my little guy. I want him to be the best complete player he can. But I can't tell you how many players come through here, and they're just so one-dimensional. And, and it's tough at 18, 20 years old to change behaviors. Old habit. Man, and, we're creatures of habit. If it's so hard to change, and if you're not successful to change it in the beginning, boy, you resort to your old habit, and it's so hard,
I know about that very well, Coach. I know about that very well.
I think Coach did a very good job, because it was a 2-year program. So the first year, on the get-go, you have to get up to speed, because the next year is a senior year. So I think he do actually excellent job first year getting you ready. So when you go into your final year, you know exactly how you want to play, what type of player you want to be, how you want to end based on you want to go to a D1 school, you want to go pro. He give us that platform so we can go forward from, because the first year he tries his best to get as much, if you have a bad way about a certain style, try to change that. So it get us in one flow element that we can feel more comfortable, because he break as much down in the first year. Yes, it come with some additional pressure. Plus, you have some good players around you because when he recruiting good players. So you can't take a day off. You can't say, me all right because second keep is not good. No, you have to come out there every single day and work hard and try your best to improve because you will have 2 years to get what you want to get out of football in Brandon Stratton.
But Taddy and Coach, I'm thinking that atmosphere where you have, if you want to say the elite players, it should work out pretty good for you in terms of a motivational factor because you now don't want to be left behind. And so, as I think, as Janil was just saying there, is that you're going to do that extra work to make sure that you not only keep up with the par excellence, but hopefully you can excel above it. And so I think, you know, that sort of program that's there, I think it also is very beneficial to the selectees that go there in terms of maintaining a particular standard.
So I really want to put no pressure on the ABFA, but I think personally, I think that coach will be a good fit for our football. Because, you know, based on, you know, he will have, at the time when I was there, he will have 2 years with the player. So I see how his improvement rate, I see how his system of play. Plus, in my time, our overseas players like me, Troy, that come from college to come home and represent our country. So I kind of know for a fact that it would definitely help because over the years you work with age group, a very technical age group. So when you hit 18, 19, you want to go into your professional career, you know exactly what you're about. And I think that he can add that to our football here in Antigua.
Well, definitely, we're going to give the coach a chance to speak on those aspirations. On our last quarter of the program, we'll give him a little chance to speak on those aspirations. Daddy was saying something.
Yeah, well, I was saying, coach, I'm not into soccer. John Neal is the soccer guy. And I know you used to work with the national team and all that.
I'm still working with them.
Oh, so you're still working. I don't follow them much, coach. I'm into cricket. But based on what I'm hearing from you, because I remember some years ago, I remember one of my friends told me he went to Baltimore, Maryland, and he saw hundreds of kids like 5, 6, 7 years of age. That's how they get started in the soccer world. And they were building them to work in the technique and all and the development. And this is what I'm really thinking now. Maybe John Hill can get you hooked up with the association, I don't know, to get it down here to do something. Because we want something like that in Antigua. Where, like you said, we have them here now, but hey, I don't know how well they're doing. John, you can elaborate on that, because I don't know much about them.
I appreciate it. You know, one of my life aspirations is to be a national coach, because I think I can help so much. And me and Jamil have stayed in touch, and you know, I think I can help the country from the grassroots by placing a lot of those kids onto college scholarships, you know, new entities, new experiences, and help them grow, you know. I had a chance to watch one of the games, you know, and I was just so disappointed a little bit by the plan. You know, there's some talented...
An Antigua team match?
Yeah. I saw the Antigua team, I forget which game, but they lost in the first game, I think it was. And I was just so disappointed that there's so much talent, but the plan, there was no plan into what they were trying to do. And I called Janelle the next day and I said to her, there's no plan, you know, they're so spread out there. You've got to get a plan, you got to get everybody on the same page, you know, you got to get the right mixture, the right chemistry, but there was really little. You know, it doesn't matter. I mean, they didn't even play to win. You know, we're winning. You know, I'm cultivating that player to play right, and you know, I would have gone about it differently. And I really, truly think I could really help the country by giving those scholarships, giving new opportunities, channel, teach, condition those players from to be the ultimate fair play, you know, and I think that's the differences there, you know. So I'm really excited, and I'm hoping that there could be an opportunity. The complete player, you know, that's what my whole thing is. They don't know, and they're not taught that. And I think Janelle will tell you, we've got, you're going to laugh when I tell you, if you're a soccer people, we got 10 goal kick plays. When people hear that, they're like, what? We got 10 corner kick plays. We got trick plays. That is so much choreography put into the game that everyone's on the same page. I do the game that people love to play with, but I hate to play against. Think Barcelona knocking around, but with all that choreography. And then I'm also very connected in America, so it's not just our college. I can place those kids in different colleges, and then on the pro level as well. So, I really excited about the potential opportunity. I think I could really make a huge, huge change from the grassroots up.
All right, Coach, we're going to give you a little opportunity to expound on that. We're going to take our final break. And then we'll give you an opportunity to expound a little more on your aspiration of coaching on the national level. Who we have here coming in. Good afternoon, Maman. Good to have you. He's watching from SVI. Neil wants to know, well, he didn't say Janelle, he said Board. Is the same school my niece went to? He wanted to know if the school, if it's the same, his niece.
Who was that?
Bad news.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Brandon Stratton,
Yes, bad news. Well, you would have heard him live there. All right, guys, so we're going to take our final break for this show. And again, we want to recognize our platinum sponsor, ACB Caribbean. Simple, smarter banking, your number one banking option. So be sure to check them out there at the different locations across Antigua for all of your banking and financial needs. 43 years of partnership with the Antigua Parish League circuit. Pine Hill Juice. With a variety of flavors, you can get your Pine Hill Juice right there, the agent for Pine Hill in Antigua, Hutchinson Wholesale. They're located on the Sydney Wallen Highway, so be sure to visit them for all of your Pine Hill Juice. And the best refreshing water on the island is Blue Mountain Water, and that comes from Mega Distributors on the American Road. Mega Distributors, you go there again in a variety of sizes right there at Mega Distributors Blue Mountain Water. And Plumbing Electrical Limited, a wide assortment of plumbing and electrical fittings. It's your one-stop shop for all your plumbing and electrical needs. And what Ahmad said is, if you don't see it in their store, just ask them, and they will definitely get it for you. And now they deal in wholesale and retail. So if you have a little corner shop and you want to get some items to resell, be sure to check Plumbing Electrical Limited. And they're located just before you get to Herbert's. You check them out there just before you get to Herbert's, there's a left turn there. You check them out right there, and you'll see Plumbing Electrical Limited. Alrighty, so now, yes, for those who are watching us, if you just tuned in, and we are here today with Janelle Board Simon, and we also have on Zoom Coach Nick. Coach, forgive me, I can't pronounce the last name too efficiently. And today we've just been talking a little bit. Earlier on, Janelle gave us quite a bit of his powers in the cricketing circles.
Strong wicketkeeper.
Strong wicketkeeper batsman. You heard that there. He said he didn't need a first slip, and he didn't need any long stop because nothing would pass him. No. So he told us of his powers, his achievement. He played for the under-15 tour into Montserrat and stuff like that. And now we are speaking football. We all know, well, for me personally, football is where I would have heard that name come in, and we're now speaking football, and we have online one of his coaches when he went to the college there in the Syracuse area, and so we're just chit-chatting there with them about that experience. Now, Coach, as just before we took that break, you spoke about your interest in coaching a national team, and I guess because of your relation with Janelle, you're looking at Antigua. I know we have had our little changes here and there in our coaches. We haven't been doing too well, I would say, on the regional or international level. We seem to get to a level and we can't pass that. You may be repeating yourself, but this is an opportunity. I mean, we have a quite wide listening audience, and I'm sure persons will be keen to hear what is it that you would bring to the table where you are of the view that you could make a strong impact in the improvement of Antigua and Barbuda in the world football. And you notice, you say soccer, we say football, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays soccer, yeah.
Coach, I must remind you, too, like John said just now, we are also live on the national TV too. This show's kind of live on national TV, so you can pitch your whatever you want to pitch, your recommendation, your resume to the public.
Yeah, no, like I said, I really think I can really make a change from the grassroots up. We've given 200 scholarships, probably 50 to 75 scholarships to Antiguans throughout the years. The one thing that I see is that kids are not the complete players. They're not taught how to play. That's what I bring. I could really teach them how to become a complete player from the youth up and get a systematic approach to stuff, and give those kids opportunities. I would still be the head coach here at the college and give those kids the opportunities to come here, play here, or other colleges, and just give them different experiences. I'm really excited about the opportunity. I really think if they really look at it and look at my credentials, that I can really do something really special for the country, and make an immediate change for their resources, which is the soccer player, So I'm really excited about that, and I think speaks volumes that Jamil would support that throughout all the years.
What I can say to that, Coach, is that John Neal can enlighten you to that in Antigua and Barbuda, but most of Antigua, there are a lot of people involved in soccer. The younger ones, they gravitate to soccer more than my sport, cricket, these days, So I don't think you should have any problem finding players, young people who want to participate in the program. And the soccer is played all year round here.
Well, that would be fantastic. I really think that it could be a big change in how you go about it, and get everybody to understand how to truly play soccer and become a winner and just change the mentality, Like I said, I watched one of the games and I was just a little disappointed at the plan, if I'm the coach, I'm going to attack. I'm going to win that game, and everyone's going to be on the same page to understand what their responsibilities are. There's no gaps, there's no mistake, you're going to be on the same page, and you're going to be taught that every day. In Geneva Lab, we used to have, we still do, silent practices at the college, because people know where to be, when to be.
Sorry, Coach, what do you call that? Silent practice?
Yes, I remember that.
Silent practice.
No talking.
No talking in practice. So, you have to find a different way to communicate. You have to know where to be at each point of the game. Like I mentioned, we have 10 goal kick plays, 10 corner kick plays. If you watch even the highest teams, they have one corner kick play. They take the corner kick, they shoot it in the middle. We got 10 plays, trick plays. Like I said, kids love to play with the way we play, but they hate to play against it. So you're just really, it's so much choreography that you got to do to get everybody on the same page.
But Coach, there's something else here that, you said that, it got to me a little bit. I used to tell my good friend, my co-host here, John, that when I watch a cricket match, we don't see the same things. Just like you. You're watching an Antigua match, but you're seeing what coaches normally do. Pick up on the fouls, the mistakes that they make. That's what coaches do. They don't want to see who kicked this ball, who kicked that ball. We look for different things.
Right. And that's why we've probably been so successful. I look at the game different. I got, like I said to you, I got, some trick plays. Those trick plays are developed from picks in basketball, from football slant runs like this, so you got to be creative in doing all this. And those guys that have, played for me, boy, they really like being a part of that. It's just not your standard soccer. And I think once you get people up to speed to understand how to really play, how to become a complete player, and fend for yourself, then something magical happens.
It adds some fun to the practice and to the matches too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Coach, let me see how I can put this question. Now, you're coming from the collegiate background of coaching, and
Sure.
you're aspiring to take on a national setup. Now, I'm seeing our national players would have gone through, if you want to call it the grassroots training, all the different club training. Now, how different is that coaching and that level where these players would have already developed their habits, their do it my way, compared to now taking them into the college and you're the one that's grinding them to where you want them to go? How do you get that into a national setup?
Yeah, that's the challenge. You know, when I get new kids here, like I said, that have their own way. They played 20 years of their life their own way. So, you know, it's changing habits. You know, it's getting them to understand. There's a lot of communication, a lot of visual, audio, getting them to understand their roles. You know, and I think you do that on the whole from the youth up. You know, you educate coaches weekly or monthly, you know, seminars to understand that that whole system is going to believe and play like this. You know, I joke about it. My little son uses his hands. You know, you get them from the youth to understand how to play correctly, to fend for yourself. You know, and then I think you'll see a tremendous change. You know, and just the opportunities as well. You know, you can put kids to play here, to play at other schools, to play in pros, play other different professional leagues, you know. But I think it's just all about education and teaching for them to understand what you want. You know, we've only lost, I think our overall record is like 340 wins and like 30 losses in 24 years. So we're doing something right.
Well, sounds all good. Ed is saying here, tell John that Taddy, we watch cricket in different ways. As a person that wants to see cricket played the right way, see it differently. All right, so I guess Ed is just talking about the whole coaching background. Coach will look at the cricket, you know, you don't look at the ball sailing over the boundary, you're going to look at the way the foot is, where the head is, and I guess stuff like that.
We look at the technical side of things.
Technical, yeah.
I think Ted was a military coach, you know, because when I heard about his coaching technique, because he was telling me that if he give a player 15 lap and they do 14, the next day they still have to do 15.
Yeah, after the laps.
No, Janelle, you voiced your support for you know, Coach Nick, to that you believe he could make an impact on our local development. You just share what is it that your experience with Coach Nick and how you feel that he could really impact our football to the core, where we could start to see some continuous improvement.
We need to realize we still are on small island state, and all of us not going to go pro. I think there's an opportunity for some of our players to get a better education. I think that's very important. Also, a different way of coaching. I think that we able to, the opportunity to see some professional background. Because when I moved to college, you know, I forgot your gym, I forgot your nutrition. You have to get your personal training. You have to compete on a high level with other players. So I think that he bring a complete package, and he deal with the professional players, and also he still get opportunity to get young kids into school. I think that will make our football team a stronger team on and off the field. So I'm not merely looking for just wins and loss. Our future of our young players and them. Give them the opportunity to have a decent education.
As I was reading through the Coach Nick's biography when he sent a little thing to us, I was very impressed with the aspect of the scholarships. I think that is a very potent selling point, where I believe that because one of the things we talk about in cricket, even last week we were talking about it, is the incentive, the motivational aspect. As Janil said earlier, in his cricketing career, he wanted the biggest plate of food, so he had to go out and perform to the best he can.
I don't think I can eat the biggest plate of food, but
You can't eat it, but you just wanted it. All right. And so I think that incentive, coach, that you bring there of that networking, as you said, not only with Syracuse, but across the U.S., I think that would really augur well for our setup here, and maybe would be a huge selling point on your CV, because I think it's something that is needed here. And the more players we have that are exposed to that sort of professional setting, now they can come back and, we used to have something in the hotel sector, train the trainer, something like that. So they can come back now, like Janil is doing now, and instill his achievements that he would have gotten from your system into our local system.
Yeah, no, that's it in a nutshell. I could really provide different opportunities, and I'm genuinely interested in helping. And it's not just the men's, we've got girls scholarships we give in, so there's so many opportunities. But I really think if you go back, I really think that this could be a huge opportunity for the country to make an investment in their future and start at the grassroots and get these kids trained to become more of a complete player and give them opportunities at the end of the day.
Now that you mentioned the female, one of the challenges I think, and maybe Janil can expound on it, he's more into the football. I know our female football, I think we're still struggling trying to get that program up and running, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, I think Lisa Cole, we have also from the US, Lisa Cole,
yes,
that's over the women program. I think that she's doing a great job. I think just before the COVID, we actually started a women league.
Okay.
They actually train now for the U20. So our female football itself, it's on a rise, and you have to give thanks to the ABFA, because they're doing a good job behind the scene to get the female program up and running.
Okay.
Oh, John, it's nice to hear about the female program and the rise. But what Nick is saying is that he wants to make it more holistic.
Yeah.
Get it more into the schools and get them like the 5-6 years old, get them started early. So when they come into this program with Johnny, the coach not having a headache, the technique not good. The guy has a headache, When I get guys come to my program and they're not good, Johnny, headache, You can't change old guys easily, So unless they have it in them. When they catch them, like Nick says, early, you make them what you want them to be.
You can mold them like Play-Doh.
You mold them, right? Like Nick?
Well, no, absolutely. You nailed it. Once they get really old, it's tough, and that's what I'm saying. Really invest in the resource. They're very talented soccer players, but you got to teach them how to win. Like I said, I saw the game. They're going to win. Teach them, but it comes with a lot of sacrifice, So, we got one scholarship right now out there to a kid from the national team, Leo Graham. We're hoping he's going to be joining us. Tremendous player. But if I'm there, we can invest that to get a lot more. And on the girls side, we've had a ton of girls come through here. We got a couple that are here already. So, but I do think the answer is at the grassroots, and not only the players, but it's the coaches too, to understand how to coach.
That's the key, Nick.
Yeah.
When we started earlier, John told me he was celebrating a guy from our national team, but only one guy. And I was so disappointed when I read it. And like I said, I was telling my good friend John when I was there, when I picked 16, you have 8 or 9 from Antigua. So, but I'm retired now, but I was so disappointed, because that is the key, Nick. When you start them early, when you get them early, like 10 and 9 and 11 and 12, by the time they reach 16, you can already make them into what you want them to be. The standard set for them.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, with my little guy, my son, the stuff that I'm teaching him is just, it's just unbelievable that kids at his age are so far behind, and they're being taught that, thinking that that's correct, and it's not, because down the road this kid is going to be able to fend for himself correctly, and I think if you get him, like you're saying, get that whole national tier system to understand how you want to go about it, boy, I think you're going to see some amazing success.
Yeah, I agree with you. See, what John Neal is saying is they have the national team in training. But what I want to see, like you mentioned to John all the time, get the primary school, the children who would go for school for the age 5 up to 10, 11, when they get to the secondary school. By the time they get to the secondary school, they have another 5 years there before they get down to the tertiary level. So if you get them as early as 5 years old, Nick, you can make them to all kind of superstars that with your coaching skill set. You can
Absolutely. And that's I'm glad you said, and that's the whole key. But you got to be invested, and I am invested, so I'm really hoping that, this could be a great opportunity.
Well, Nick, we also do hope, as Taddy said, we are live on cable TV, and so you're being seen throughout the length and breadth of Antigua, so I'm sure once the necessary work is done through the official channels, I'm sure some consideration can be given to your program. Ed is coming in here. Ed is saying, Taddy, I asked a question. Antigua has a school team and get only one player in that 56 people in Antigua. Unacceptable. I think all the coaches from the school should be fired. Wow. Ed, that is a bit harsh. We don't know what was the criteria, but it's a question that I think we all would like to get some answers to, as to, because I've always heard Antigua is the only place playing cricket. They don't play no cricket in St. Kitts, don't play no cricket. And, but anyway, we're here with Janil today, so we're going to stick a little bit. Well, Coach, we're going to look to wrap up shortly. We know you've spent quite a bit of time with us, so just as we go on our back end, we'll just probably give you an opportunity to, give you a little closing remark, and then we'll just have a little chit-chat here for about 2 minutes, and then we go.
Great, thank you.
You can give I'm just saying you could give your closing remark, anything you want to.
Oh, no. It's just a pleasure. It was great seeing Jamil. It's been 20-something years, and just to hear that he's doing great. He's doing great, and he looks great, and it's just a tribute to him. He's such a good kid, and I'm so glad that life has turned out. Whatever he decides to do, he's going to be great at it, because he's such a good person. And I'm really hoping and I'm glad to be a part of this to speak on his behalf, and I'm really hoping that maybe we can coach together and really help other kids down the road. So I want to thank you guys for your time, and hopefully some things can happen, and I can see Jamil again.
Well, indeed a pleasure to have you, and I'm sure we'll probably have you back again, maybe another time in another forum, speaking some more football along the way somewhere. Jenny, you want to say anything to your coach before?
Definitely, I have to say special thanks to Coach. You've been a big part of my life and my family's life. Thanks for everything, and hopefully we can see each other sometime in the future.
Great, thank you so much, man. Love you.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, I know that I can see the love there, but this guy gave me so much trouble, Coach. This guy is my good friend, but he gave me so much trouble, That's
he's a good man. He's a good man.
I realize that. He's a good man.
Yeah, so Taddy out, it's a real, I guess it's a question that we will definitely need to get some answers as to how only one person from Antigua could get to the academy.
Well, I can't do that. I say I'm not in the coaching. We need when we time.
Yeah, but Taddy, you have links, you have connection, you have to use them.
You have to
use them to get answers.
When I saw it, John, I called my good friend Kenneth to find how is it that Antigua would have one selectee in 56? Well, I say, I don't know what happened. I was shocked.
But what was Kenneth's response?
Well, I don't want to tell you.
Don't want to tell me. Yeah.
But see, John, it has something to do with what Nick has been saying all afternoon. The development program that we have here now. You're not spending enough time in teaching the guys the technical side of the game. And when I saw the team picked and so on, John, I said, and you mentioned it to John. We play the most cricket around this region, Antigua. And we have the least pick. I don't know if it's politics. I don't want to believe so. But maybe not producing the good guys like before. That's all I can say to it. And for it, John, because one thing about us around here, we have a lot of competition, John. But competition doesn't always mean that you're developing players. Like when I told you last week, I heard they have woman competition, and they started to play cricket, teaching the technique and so the basic stuff. We started to play matches. That is disaster or failure. You must teach them, like Coach said earlier now, when they get the basics set in, you can go play in the league all around the world. I used to teach those guys that when leave factory, anywhere in the world they go, you're good. You can fit in. You're not going to look like you're like, let's say, rat in a foul house or something like that. No, pussy in again something. You must look like you're part of it. You understand what's going on. And that might be, and the guy that get picked is some fast bowling in it.
Yeah, Calvin.
So, take for example, there's a fast ball from Bowden and everybody speak about.
Time.
He's like a last guy. I don't hear anybody talking about him anymore. I said to say this. There's something basically wrong with our development program. Okay, you can have some guy 14, 15 bowling so fast, and then all of a sudden you're hearing about him. Something wrong, John, with our development system, John. And that's what the coach keeps mentioning earlier. Development, the technical aspect.
See, one of the good things that work for us in football, we have we have combined school at one point, and then we have a lot of youth tournament. So it gives us the opportunity as young, able to skillful players, able to play in a lot more regional competition growing up. So we get opportunity to play against different islands. So I don't know if the same thing with cricket.
Well, the cricket has it, but we play a lot of cricket now. But they say, we play matches, John. So we take a say, when I go to the cricket field, John, and you might take, okay, give a typical example. That Ed Lewis, I keep saying it to you. When I said Lewis 1980, Ed Lewis was number 9 batsman and a little sweetie bowler. But when I saw the other guys who were opening batter making centuries, Ed was better than them technically. So I take Ed for number 9, make it open batter, and the others then get dropped. So, like, so when you go to the cricket field, John, what you see, not what I see. You might see a man knock 2, 4, 6 foot up. I don't come there for that, John.
Because I thought I was a centre forward, but Pace put me in the goal.
Okay. And you became a great goalkeeper.
Yes.
Is it?
And at one point, a wicketkeeper.
So, John, what I'm saying to you, as a coach, you look out for the things that guy can do. You know what I mean? Some guys are better at certain things that they think, you know. I remember one guy for Ernest came to me so fast, but Andrew Abbas told him so. They say, you can't be no fast bowler. He was a long one for here to East Street, where he slower than me. So maybe get concentrate on spinning that batting. No, John, your mind will tell you something, John. But it is, John, in the real world, that's what coaches are there for. Coaches identify talent, right? Coaches work on you to improve on your skills.
Coach Nick, have you had an experience like that where you've actually changed? As Janil said, he thought he was a centre forward, and his coach here said, "No, you're going into the goalie."
Yeah, actually, on his team, the national championship team, you know, I get this quite a bit. It'd be hard to believe. We had a player, Christian Magoo, that was a forward, and I didn't think he was a tough kid, you know, and I thought lacked the speed that you needed at that position with our team. So I put him as a stopper, center back stopper back then, you know, and he became an All-American center back. So that's happened a lot.
That's good coaching, Nick. That is very good coaches spotting the guy's talent and where he's best suited.
Right. But when you tell that to the kid in the beginning, they're like, what?
I know that.
But, you know, that's happened a lot, you know, and then once you work with them, get them to understand, and then they see the success, it goes through the roof. And that kid ended up playing pro, coaching Division I, he played pro as a defender, you know, so there you go, you know. You like the gentleman said, you see something different than the coach next to you might see.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to bring this show to close. It was really quite informative, really enlightening, just listening to the two coaches just sharing their experiences, and Janil also speaking. So Janil, we give you an opportunity to give your closing remarks.
say that two coaches. I'm a coach also.
Oh my! I'm surrounded by coaches.
Yes,
That's true. You're the goalkeeper, coach. Right?
Yes. It's definitely a pleasure to be here. I have a lot of fun. I get the opportunity to meet coach again, and Teddy I was on me. He get facts that I was definitely a cricketer. Maybe in a different setup, maybe I would be a West Indies and help them out now. But I definitely want to thank my family, Coach Nick, also the ABFA. I go through my injuries, so they also be a strong supporter of me. And the bowlers community, and thanks to everybody that definitely helped me with this journey through my life.
Thank you, Taddy.
Yeah, well, I must say, by ending by saying, hey, happy birthday to one of my sons, the bouncing Joseph guy. I had him when he was 11 years, 12 years old. Now he's West Indies playing. Well, I don't think he'll be any cake for me. I don't eat cake much, really. But that's one of my guys, There's so many of them, John, So I must tell you, John, it's a pleasure having Coach Nick and my no good friend here aboard on the show today. I'm going to have to look for him sometime soon, go by where he work. And, we're going to start out in the debate. The last one to look for him, John, I just say, hey, you didn't invite him into your office, you got air and stuff. You didn't invite him in, John. Since the man get big, you didn't invite me to play.
He didn't invite you?
No, when we saw the tree sit down and had sun, he just invited me all the time, John. Now the man a big shot with air and refrigerator and stuff in the room. The man invited his body. I don't understand him.
Coach Nick, you get that experience too. When they graduate and they get big, they forget you.
Yeah, here and there, but for the most part, look at Jamil, it's been 20-something years, so those are the things that really makes you want to be a coach and stuff, But I really enjoyed this. This is a great discussion, and a great opportunity to reconnect, and see where it goes. So I thank you guys so much.
Good.
Yes, Coach, but it's my body, we've been rolling and tumbling, whatever he wants and stuff. From him, I called him up. What do you want stuff for me from a farm? He gets stuff. Everybody, I said, great. But I like to tease him, John. Peter Bears is a footballer. He is no good. That Peter. Peter Bears, his brother, is a great striker.
Yeah, Peter Bears.
Well, this guy is just ball passing by me say goalkeeper. That's how we greet each other. There's no good goalkeeper. So, but he's my good friend, a very good guy, very nice guy, respectful guy. And I can't say anything bad about him. Except in front of his face. I say bad things about him in front of his face. But behind his back, I wouldn't say anything bad about him. But it's a good thing to have you, great to have you on the show, Coach Nick. And I hope that you get the opportunity to come to Antigua to expound on your knowledge and help us to get to the next level, especially the grassroots level. Because we have grassroots cricket here. John, you can take about grassroots football. But football is the biggest thing in Antigua, that cricket.
Most definitely.
Boy, ladies and gentlemen, young boys, they play football, but like I keep saying to John, that my friends teach them the basics early, the skill set. So when they get into the next level, they will give the coach at the next level any headache. You waste time to teach them the things they should have known a long time ago.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. We're really interested. And Janelle, what I take away from this, if I want the biggest plate of food, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to be the best I can be.
No, John, that is not what it is now. When you have other people to get the food. If you alone, John, nobody to compete with you.
Nobody competed with me. Well, he had a lot of talent around him. He had Peter Bayer and all these guys, so he had to compete.
Exactly.
Coach Nick, it was indeed a pleasure having you, my brother.
Thank you.
And
Thank you very much.
as Taddy said, we do hope that the journey will bring you around our shows, and you could play an integral role in the development of our program. On behalf of our executive producer,
John, I'm hoping someday soon for now, Nick, we might have another show on a Monday afternoon where they speak more soccer on that show.
I would love it. I would love it. It was a great discussion. You talk about coaching, talk about the finer points. I love it. Anytime. I think this is great.
Those guys are national coaches. So they discuss the different sports, but they're more get into football, that kind of stuff, like Mervyn and those guys, So
Sure.
I can organize something for you, Nick, so we can get you on very soon.
all
Let me know.
right,
Thank you so much.
No problem. Anything from Mervyn Shaw on Monday?
I don't know yet.
Okay, well, anyway, we'll be back on Monday. Marvelous.
Monday from 5 to 6:30.
5 to 6:30, Mervyn will be on air. And we will be back next week, Thursday, with another exciting show. And so, on behalf of Mark Charles, our executive producer, ably assisted by Auden, our co-host, Taddy Arundel, Janelle Simon, and of course, our coach Nick online from all the way in Syracuse. What's the weather like there? It's cold now? Or it's warm?
You know, this is the most hottest time. You know, it's a little quality period, but you know, the winter is right around the corner.
All right. Well, Coach, it's scorching hot down here, so we're having a little heat wave for the time being, but it's all good. So we just want to encourage everybody, please follow all the protocols. Let's stay safe, and we'll be back here next week, Monday, on Marvelous Mervyn Show, and we'll be back here on Thursday for Talking Parish League. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you.